Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are doing my A to Z makeup favorites. I recently saw one of my absolute favorites here on YouTube do this. It's just Steph. I'll have her video linked in the description box, but the originator of this tag was Jen Phelps, and I'll also have her information listed too. Now, they both did a full A to Z favorites with all makeup. I do not have enough letters or makeup products that are legit favorites that I want to include, so I've kind of expanded a couple of my letters to include non-makeup items, but let's go ahead and get into just A to Z favorites. Okay, as we get started, I know we have a lot to go through, so I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet, but also I wanted to note that most of these letters, all but one I believe, corresponds with the brand. So for letter A, we have ABH or Anastasia Beverly Hills. I absolutely adore the eyeshadow formula in this tiny packaging. I actually haven't tried the big Norvina collabs. I've heard that the formula is a little bit different, but I also haven't heard many complaints about it. But this palette here is probably my favorite palette in my collection to this day. It's just beautiful. I love that you get some more neutral tones. I love that you get these little fun pops of color. I absolutely adore this palette, and sometimes I find myself conserving it, which is kind of ridiculous because I don't want to run out of that palette. I love it that much. Now, my second favorite from this brand is the Jackie Aina palette. I know this is a little bit more difficult to get your hands on. Occasionally I see it pop up on Beauty Bay as still available, even though I do believe that they are discontinuing this palette. So if you're looking, you might have some success on Beauty Bay, but I do know recently they just started their Black Friday sale, and I have a feeling that palettes like this might sell out pretty quickly for them. But yeah, so stunning. And moving to the letter B, I went with Buxom products. I thought for a minute about going with Bare Minerals because I do like their matte foundation powder, but I absolutely adore Buxom lip products. I have this one specifically, are probably my two favorite pieces in my collection. This is Buxom Hush Liner. I used up the deluxe size sample of this recently. It lasted me 2 years. For real, those little deluxe size samples last forever. Probably would take me an entire lifetime to go through this thing. And then this is one of my favorite glosses. This and DaLin. This is Hot Toddy. I am conserving this. I've used half the tube up. You can barely see in there. I am conserving it because I don't think I've seen Buxom here in Sweden. But when I get back to the US, you bet your butt I'm buying the full size of this because this is such a beautiful nude shade. I'm not wearing it today because I'm wearing something else that I'll talk about. But I just think these Buxom lip products are stunning, great, and I have tried an old bullet lipstick from them. Also, stunning formula. I want to try more from Buxom because everything I've tried from them, even though it's just a couple things, I've thoroughly enjoyed. Okay, and I'm reaching down for letter C. I went with ColourPop, obviously. If you watch my channel, you probably know that I really enjoy ColourPop products, and not to mention that the price point is on point. Now, you probably would expect me to mention that these highlights are my favorite, and I do love them. I have a ton of pan on a lot of these items. And I absolutely do recommend these highlighters if you're looking for something that is a little bit more creamy and less likely to look dry and powdery on your skin. I love these for that reason. But I have to say that I have come to love these 9-pan palettes from ColourPop way more than I ever thought possible. This one here is Honey. It's probably my favorite one in my collection. I adore yellows, so this is just beautiful to me. I also have the peach one, love it, love it. I have the red one, which is a little less high up on my love list, only because it's a little bit more pink toned and I wanted something a little bit that leaned more orange. But I'm dying to get my hands on the Lilac You Lot palette. I want that taupe palette. I love these little 9-pan palettes so much, they're so good. Now, before we move into letter D, I do want to apologize if you can hear them collecting the recycling and stuff outside and rolling trash cans. It's loud. I've never heard it be this loud, but whatever. So letter D, I went with Dose of Colors. I haven't tried a ton from them lip-wise. I know that they have great liquid lipstick formula from what I hear, but I love their eyeshadow formula from what I've tried. Mostly, specifically, the mattes are very pigmented. They do have some kick up, which I don't mind. I kind of like that. It doesn't bother me. And then but I will say the glitters in this palette, this is the Frinkation palette, are stunning in this palette, the textures of those shimmers, but I do have a little bit of issue with creasing. I have to wear them with a glitter glue, but it's so beautiful and so worth it, even despite them kind of sometimes creasing after a really long day. I still think they're so dimensional and beautiful that I had to mention that. I know that they don't really release a ton of eyeshadows, but I'm waiting for them to release another palette, a bigger palette like this, because if they do the right color story, I would definitely pick another palette up from them. Now on to E. I have my little e.l.f. blush here. I had to depot mine because my packaging broke, but oh my goodness. This was the Satin Love blush, or Satin Touch blush in Satin Love. I love this blush. It is so good. It performs like high-end. It's pigmented, but not too pigmented. It's buildable. It has like this beautiful satin sheen to your cheeks, not to mention that the shade is just absolutely stunning. It has like this kind of rosy nudeness to it, but it's not too rosy. It's just so beautiful. Let me give you a little swatch. So there's a swatch of it right there. I am actually wearing this blush pretty lightly underneath another blush today, but oh my gosh, I had to mention this because it's so good, so worth it. I want to try more e.l.f. blushes because this one, the quality of it's so good that if the other ones are even a fraction as good as this one, I know I wouldn't be disappointed. Okay, moving to F. The other cream blush that I'm wearing on top of that e.l.f. blush is this Fenty one in the shade Fuego Flush. I stinking really enjoy this blush so much. I just picked this up recently in like September, and oh my gosh, I really like it. Now it is very sheer, buildable formula, and you do, like, if I want most maximum pigment for this, I have to use my fingers and like tap it onto my cheeks. But if I want just a light, like today I didn't really want an orange cheek, but I wanted a sheen over that satin blush. I wanted something a little glowy, so I went just barely over the top with like my sponge and like dipped it in and like put it on over my e.l.f. blush, and I just think it's so beautiful. It doesn't make it too orange, but yet my cheeks have a little bit of life. I really enjoy this blush, and I'm dying. I will hopefully pick up more of these shades in the future because I really want to try more shades from Fenty. Okay, moving into letter G. This is the one category where I don't have a product that corresponds, or I don't have a brand actually that corresponds with the letter G. So I did break the rule and choose my gold palette. This is from Natasha Denona. I stinking love this. Now I did purchase, my first Natasha Denona product was like the mini Lila, and it was fine. Then I ended up getting the Lila on sale, which was pretty, but I made this decision. I waited I didn't get this until July of this past year, and I waited and thought about it and I did get it on sale, but not as much as, like, I got the Lila palette on like half off. This one I thought of as an investment. I know that these colors are things that I can wear so often, and I really do see it as an investment, and it's something that I absolutely adore. I think that this color palette for me is something that I'm going to get a ton of use out of. I love it. Today I am wearing this mustard shade up high into my transition shade area, and then I'm wearing this shade here, this is the infamous Lime Chrome, and I have it popped onto like the center of my halo eye as a little pop, and it's just stunning. I think the textures in this palette are so cool. Some of these are just really like almost no base pigment, but they have like some dimensional glitter to them, like that one. And then this one is like a beautiful duochrome. This one's a duochrome, but this one's like a different texture. They're just stunning. I really enjoy them. The mattes are so pigmented and blendable at the same time. It's just a beautiful palette. I've never put on makeup from this palette and not loved my eye look, so I had to mention this as a favorite because I do not regret this, even though I spent too much money on it. Okay, moving into letter H, I have a couple little nail polishes that I wanted to mention from H&M. I think these are great. They cost about around $5 US. I bought them here in Sweden, so I don't know the actual conversion, but probably $5 to $6 I would imagine. These are my 4 favorite shades. I do have some more, but they're not my favorites. But Red Over Heels is a beautiful kind of a blue leaning gold, and then this one here is Green as Gold. I've talked about this one before. It's kind of got this blue base, but it's got a strong green to gold duochromeness to it. Beautiful. And then I have You Say Tomato, which is this really beautiful red that has a very orange base to it, and I love this. This matches one of my lipsticks like perfectly, the one from my Cruella one from ColourPop, and I stinking love this. Anytime I know I'm gonna wear that lip, I have to match my nails to it because I'm extra like that. And then my last favorite from them is Cream Saffron. Beautiful kind of like yellow, perfect for fall tone. So beautiful. I love those so much. Okay, moving to the next one. It Cosmetics, the Bye Bye foundation and the CC cream. To me, they're almost the same. This one may just have the tiniest bit less coverage than the CC cream, but they look the same on my skin pretty much. I love that they both have 50 SPF in them. If I could only pick one foundation to wear for the rest of my life, it would be this one. Even though it's not my favorite foundation of all time, I cannot do without the 50 SPF if I'm out and about and leaving the house, or especially on vacation. So if I had to make a sacrifice, this would be the only one that I would wear for the rest of my life because it is beautiful. It really is. But yeah, man, I cannot say enough good things about this formula, and I love, this is my second tube of this one. So yeah, love it. Okay, J, we're doing Juvia's Place. I recently got this also in September. This is the Nomad palette. can we talk about how beautiful this is for fall? But not only that, I stinking love this. The first Juvia's Place palette that I tried, I fell in love with the metallics in it. And so I almost didn't pick this up because it's almost all metallic or mattes, but I'm so glad that I did because I've fallen head over heels in love with this palette. This has probably been, like, apart from the Natasha Denona palette, this has probably been my favorite palette that I've tried this year so far. So stinking good. But yeah, today I am wearing this shade here, deepening up my crease, and then I have this shade on my inner and outer corner. Stunning. I love it. I love this palette so much. Okay, next up is letter K, and for that I wanted to mention the Kiss lashes in the blowout style. I know that they have different styles in this line, but this has been one of the lashes that I've tried this year that I was really impressed with the quality of. The price point is really perfect, and so I had to mention these. This particular one was a style Pixie, and I would totally get these again. And so in the future, you know, this and Ardell, they both run about the same price, but I do think that these might be a little bit more affordable, and the quality of them is great. I would definitely pick more of those up. Okay, next up we have letter L, and for that I chose my L'Oreal lipsticks. I really quite enjoy these. I've tried one matte formula in the shade Madly in Love, and it's this beautiful, very orange, almost red shade. Really, it probably depends on your like skin tone, how much it pulls red or how much it pulls orange. Really great formula, really can't complain about it. But these right here, these Color Riche ones are my favorite. I am wearing this one here in Glossy Fawn over top Buxom Hush, good lord. I am getting so tongue-tied, but that is a swatch right there. Such a beautiful shade, and it's a beautiful nude if you don't want to wear it over a darker lip liner. But then I also have Varnished Rosewood, which is like my go-to anytime I'm wearing any mauve or cool tone look. That's the one I go for. Such a beautiful color. They're so easy to wear. Now they are not long lasting because they are that glossy finish, but if you're like me and your lips are not, I don't have the biggest lips, so I need them to kind of be a little shiny once in a while to look bigger, and I love these for that reason. Okay, next up we have M, and for that I went with my Marc Jacobs bronzer. I recently also picked this up in like late August, early September, and I kind of thought, like, I got it from TJ Maxx, and I kind of thought, okay, this has got to be hyped up. It's probably not worth the price tag. I have come to really enjoy this bronzer. I am wearing it today. I think it's beautiful. It's like not too pigmented when you first put it down, but it does show up and it builds up so beautifully, so beautifully. I almost like, and when I saw on Sephora recently, they have this on sale on Sephora. Now it's not as good of a deal as if you could find it at TJ Maxx, but I had to talk myself out of buying a backup. I'm like, okay, calm down. You literally have just started using this. You don't need a backup yet. I hope that because they're showing up in TJ Maxx and they're on sale on Sephora, I hope they're not getting rid of these because I stinking love this shade. I have the shade Tantric, but I honestly want a backup already, and I definitely don't. I don't buy backups. I don't need them, but I literally had to talk myself off the ledge with buying a backup for this one. Okay, moving into letter N, I have to be really careful. I have come to really adore this formula of nail polish. This is the Nails Inc brand. I have two different bundles, or one is a set of 4, and it was this one, this bright orange, it was this beautiful nude shade, it was this pink, bright pink shade, and then it was this ridiculously delicious greenish yellow highlighter shade. That was like the Naked and Neon set that I got. And then I also am wearing this one today. This is the Girl King Duo, and it's stunning. Like, can you see that? It's got this beautiful green, deep hunter green, and then this kind of mauve-y iridescent pink shade. Oh, it's got like a silver base to it almost. Oh, I love these. I actually cannot wait to get more of these sets or these duos, especially. I have one on my mind right now that's I'm eyeing really hard. It's got like a bright corally pink and then an orange iridescent shade, and oh, I can't. I want more of these. And I have to say, the formula is really good. Like, I've been really impressed with them. And when you consider what they cost per bottle, it's really not that bad. So I definitely highly recommend these Nails Inc duos. Okay, next up is letter O, and I actually don't have an Ofra product on me. I left all of my Ofra highlighters back at home. I miss them so much because mostly I was trying to make sure that I hit pan on some of my Anastasia ones and my ColourPop ones that I left here with me. And like, when I tell you I miss those highlights, I miss those highlights. They are popping, they are very intense. I miss that so much. So Ofra highlights are where it's at, and I highly recommend those, but we'll go on to the next letter, which is P. And for that, Physicians Formula, I love their butter bronzer and their butter blush. This is my only butter, oh my lord. Okay, I've never been diagnosed with a speech impediment, but I swear to God, I probably could be diagnosed with one. But I literally, this one here is called Natural Glow. I got it earlier this year. Like, I think I got it in like January, late December, January last year. And I love this blush. This doesn't honestly give that much pigment, but what it is perfect for, especially if you're someone like me who's just, I cannot get enough of like a satin sheen or a slightly glowy cheek. I just think it makes my face look a little younger, having that like healthy glow. So this is like the perfect, oh, it smells delicious. It's the perfect blush topper. So I've been wearing this, I was wearing this a lot in the beginning of the year, and then recently I tried to work on some other things, but I can't wait to break this back out because this is another one that I've had to talk myself out of buying a backup of because I just really love it. And I know that deep down somewhere, I have this fear that because I love it so much, they're gonna eventually discontinue it. So I don't know, I'm still kind of on the fence of, well, you know, this one's pretty affordable. You could buy a backup and nobody would judge you except for yourself. But anyways, we are skipping past letter Q because I honestly just couldn't think of anything. So R, this Real Techniques brushes, I really enjoy them. I don't see the need in like buying more expensive brushes when I've had such good luck with these things. So I wanted to highlight some of my favorite brushes. This one here is the setting brush. I love this one for highlight. So stinking good. This one here is the Instapop Cheek Brush. Yes, I think this is such a good blush for like more like cream products. I've used it with those, or if you have like a more buildable blush that you just kind of want to pat on, so good for that. Really good brush. I love their eye brushes too. So I have a crease brush here. Mine are a little dirty because I used them earlier today. This one here, this little smudger brush, perfect for like lower lash line work. Really good. Now this brush here is the defining crease brush. Let me give you a peek of like, you see how pointy it is? I never thought I would ever have a use for a brush like this, but I find this to be so good for like placing color, like deeper colors where I want them in the crease. It's so good. I used this today with that like dark green shade just to make sure that my crease kind of connected the inner and outer corner, but it also didn't fluff up into like the outer part of my crease. It's so good. This brush is highly underrated. And then I have this one here, the Expert face brush, and this one is so good too. I don't often use brushes to apply foundation, but this one does a really good job. And then recently I've thought about trying to use this for cream bronzer. I imagine it would be really good for that too. So I might have to try that out because it's a really nice dense brush, but at the same time still has some give for blending. I really like it. Okay, moving on to letter S, we have Smashbox. I haven't tried a ton from Smashbox, but I have to say these silicone primers are so stinking popular. I know I've used up a full Maybelline baby skin one that dupes this one. I've used up one of these in the past. I've used up a lot. I tend to kind of like those silicone primers. They give my makeup a little slip that I need. And so but I do think that the Smashbox ones are just slightly better in quality than the drugstore options that I've tried. Now, I will say I would not recommend paying full price for these, but if you wait for sales, they typically will put this on at least half off. I got this little mini guy for $3 at one point from Ulta on a random sale. So definitely keep an eye out for if these things go on sale. But this one here is the one that I highly recommend more than that one. This is especially if you're someone who struggles with like pore size, this is the pore minimizing one. I like this quite a bit. It's not my favorite. I think honestly, I should have probably mentioned it back with the L's and the other L'Oreal products. L'Oreal has a magic perfecting base in like a little tub. I like that one probably just slightly more than this one, but this is probably my second favorite pore minimizing product that I've tried. So I will pick this up again when I see it on on sale. So I had to mention that too. All right, and next up, letter T. I talked about Tarte Shape Tape enough because I love it. So I will actually talk about here. This is my favorite product from The Ordinary. And this is the AHA like peeling solution, the AHA 30%, BHA 2% peeling solution. It's not a peeling solution, it's a peeling solution. So sorry. But yeah, I really enjoy this as I'm trying to move away and work all of the like physical exfoliants out of my skincare collection. I'm trying to move to chemical ones, and this will hopefully be one of the only ones that I keep in the future long run, not to mention that it's ridiculously affordable compared to some other ones on the market. So I had to mention that because it's really good. I actually have a backup of it. I just got in the mail, thank goodness, because if you can tell, almost done. Really, I enjoy it. Okay, we're getting down to the last few. The next one is You, and I also don't have it with me because I finished it. It's somewhere in my empties bin and I really don't feel like digging it out. But I'm talking about the Ulta Concealer. It is waterproof. Now it is a smaller product and you don't get as much like actual product in that little tube. But again, if you wait for 21 days of beauty sales and that kind of thing, Ulta will put that concealer on a ridiculous sale price. And I believe I picked mine up one time for about $3. Totally worth that price. Now it claims to be waterproof and I don't think it's 100% waterproof, but it is one that I always pack to go on vacation, especially if we go in somewhere like the beach or something, because I do notice that it has like pretty good staying power. It might rub off my face eventually, but it is probably the most high coverage, almost waterproof concealer that I've tried. So I do like to have one of those in my like collection, even though I don't have one right now. I'll probably pick one up sometime next year because I do think it has a place in my collection. Okay, next up is V, and I chose my Viktor & Rolf Flower Bomb perfume. Now, Beau gave me this perfume for Christmas last year, and I think it smells so beautiful. It's got a very vanilla kind of base to it, but also you do definitely smell like a floral undertone, or it's very floral. What am I talking about? Very like an undertone. So I should say that I'm super drawn to floral scents. Like I really like floral scents, but I think this one is like more unique. It's unlike any other floral perfume that I've ever tried. So, but I'm not a perfume expert, but I did wanted to mention that I love it. I really enjoy it, and I think it's like a very sophisticated but sweet, sexy kind of thing. I don't know. I'm a perfume novice, but I do enjoy this one, which is V. And with that being said, W will be my last one, which is Wet n Wild. And I wanted to give a shout out to their highlights. Out of everything that I've tried from Wet n Wild, I do enjoy their highlights. But again, mine are in storage back at home because I was trying to work on some other things. But that's kind of it. I don't have X, Y, or Z. Just don't have any of that. So that's what we'll kind of end on today. But I wanted to give a shout out. These earrings, I will link them in the description box. These are from Ravenstone Gifts on Etsy. They're stunning. Really enjoy those. But I think that's it for today. Make sure if you have done this tag, let me know. I want to see it. If you're going to do this tag or you thought about doing this tag, consider yourself officially tagged. Make sure you let me know if you do it. And that's it for today. I will see you in the next one.